Hey everyone, what's going on? Ash and Rima here from MEOdyssey, and this is our end of 2016. I almost said 2017 there. This is our end of 2016 podcast. We did the same last year. Just a quick review of events that have gone on Mass Effect wise and gaming in general, and our thoughts coming to the end of the year really, and looking forward to the following year. And we've got some cool things lined up, but we'll talk more about that towards the end there as well. But yeah, that's kind of it really. Goodbye. That's just joking. As I had done. But no, it's I don't know about you, Rima, but this being the first full year of the channel.
The year in general has been tiring. Tiring is mainly the word I would use. It's also been, I guess, there's been really good bits, there's been really bad bits. So it's just been weird. It's a weird year.
I think, yeah.
I'm ready to see it finish, I'll be honest.
I think in terms of, like, most of my complaints from the year in terms of the channel come from technical problems that we've constantly had throughout the year. They've not been, like, every single time, but they just happened when you don't want them to happen.
They come in bouts.
Yeah.
From copyright issues to, like, editing issues to just general...
How can I forget about the copyright stuff?
Oh yeah, that was a good spell. Yeah, so it's just like they come in like there's like silence and there's like a wave of them at one go, and it's just like unfair. So.
Well, luckily since the copyright stuff, we had to say fair play to Ashley Jenkins and the Note because she was very kind and kept in contact with us the whole time and got sorted, and we've had no problems since. So fingers crossed, touch wood. But yeah, it's that was probably like the worst one because that really bummed us out properly. Because we just were scared to upload for like a good 2 weeks. But it's fine. We've not had any problems since then. But in general, I think like this being the first full year, I will go with tiring. Yes,
it's been tiring, but it's been good.
But it's been a really good year. I mean, I don't know at what point we were at the end of last year. But the growth alone this year has been like well, I can't even think of a word for it because I didn't expect it.
No.
So to be in the position we are now and learning so many new experiences for the first time that we never thought we'd get is very good, and it's just very cool, I suppose. And kind of putting the whole 18 months into perspective, we've always had the channel to fall back on should our personal lives go to poop, which in certain points they have. But it's always been the channel to come back and kind of work us through it. And we've kind of got people that keep coming back to the channel and people in the community that always want to help out and offering to help us out with stuff. And to have that there, where we've never had that there before, is like really, really cool. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Very cool. Obviously, we started streaming somewhat recently. I don't know how recently it was because I did test streaming for about 2 months. That was straight from console stuff, and then I figured out how to do like streaming through capture cards and things like that, which was a lot clearer and a lot easier once I figured it all out. But it's just been... It's very up and down in terms of like what content's best and what isn't, and where we've learned in terms of editing and things like that. I mean, this is the first year you actually edited.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All the stuff that they kind of see from me is like me basically doing it. Like a lot of times it's like new stuff in general.
Yeah.
Just like, let's try this and see what happens.
Yeah. And it gets to a point where like I will watch one of your videos because obviously we record together. I'd say about 35 to 40% of the time because the rest of the stuff is just us doing solo videos and stuff. So we don't sit there and edit with each other over Skype. We go away in our own time. We edit. We upload it ourselves. I'll normally do a thumbnail for them at the end of that process. And then we have our process. That's what we do. But we always go back and watch the videos that each other have created to make sure there's no issues or spelling errors, which I know we've both done at some point. And people have been very quick to point that out, so thank you very much. But they were glaring errors, so that's our fault.
Yeah. Well, once you've been like editing for like nearly half a day, sometimes longer, you just don't pay attention to that anymore. It's like you're just more focused on like, oh, is it transitioning okay, or oh, have I put all my assets in? And you don't think of, oh, spelling error. I made a spelling error.
You can't spell check in video editors, as far as we're aware. So
well, actually, to be honest, I'm surprised I've not made more, considering the things
True.
we've had to like include for the videos.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, I interrupted you.
but yeah, it's just been, and I think I'm trying to remember how many videos we actually have on the channel now, but
over 200 now, isn't it?
I think it's 204, 205.
Yeah,
and to do that many on one game in
on one
18
game.
months. This
well,
channel, we've only been going 18 months, so.
Technically it's 4 games, right? Because it's on all the games.
That's true.
And Andromeda.
Yeah,
but
it's the same series.
If you think about it's the same series, and if you think about it, not a lot, because we tend to think of them as one game because there's just too much in common. We can't really split them up.
No.
Not like we would have if there was like a different franchise we were doing, like say we were doing like GTA or something. That would be, they are one series, but they're so different between each other that we could actually individually talk about them. But we can't do that for Mass Effect because it's a bit more.
They all
fluid.
intertwine in some way.
Yeah.
So yeah. But, and we, I suppose this is turning into the channel stuff first, I suppose, so we might as well
we were going to do that last, but
But, but this is why recently we've been, well, I say recently, we've probably been talking about it majority of this year. But we have to keep putting it back and putting it back and putting it back.
Because BioWare won't let us just rest.
I know. Well,
every time we're like, okay, we've got a bit of a lull, let's plan stuff. They're like, nope, Game Awards.
Nope. We're going to drop something big on you, so you have to report everything. It's just like, but
by the way, Game Informer's doing a month of reviews. By the way, IGN's going to be doing some more later on. You're like, oh God, BioWare, why? Don't they sleep? Like,
it's not fair. It's not fair on us small YouTube creators who want to do other stuff. But no, every time we plan to like venture into other stuff, something major's always happened, and we're like, okay, we'll drop this for another 2 weeks or a month or whatever. Mm-hmm. Never fun, because we do want to kind of stretch our wings into other bits and pieces here and there. With the year almost being over, the date of recording is the 19th of December.
Yeah.
So we got, less than 2 weeks until the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I think we're both basically kind of ready to relax for at least a week. For
we were thinking, at least a week to relax, and then another
week
maybe
for
half
planning.
a week or planning and stuff.
Because normally when we do like other stuff, we normally don't want to do our research and we want to do our planning and stuff like that. We're going to have a period of at least 10 days to 2 weeks where we won't be releasing videos. We'll still be streaming and stuff probably, but we won't be releasing videos because we kind of want to have a break over Christmas and New Year. But in that kind of week, probably towards the end of Christmas and going towards the New Year, and maybe that bit just after, we'll be planning for the other games we want to cover. We basically decided on the 5, maybe 6 games, so just thought of another one that we've spoken about before. But again, there's been no real news on that recently, so it might not come in just yet. But we've kind of got a final list down of the games we do want to cover. But you'll learn more on that in January.
Yeah, it's a little short list. And then
Yes. One of them I literally confirmed today. So, and I mentioned it to you, and we were like, yeah, that's a good idea, actually, yeah. So we're very excited to cover that one.
And there's some old ones and some new ones, so it's going to be a bit of...
Yeah, it's going to be... because the good thing is the stuff we'll be covering they have history, and they have like prior kind of standing in the gaming community, I suppose. So there's lots to fall back on, but there's a lot to look forward to as well.
Yeah.
So we are very much looking forward to bringing new videos on other stuff, and basically to the best of our ability. We're always learning. So, but we've never had an audience like that we have now, where they're so supportive and they're happy for us to look into other stuff. Because at the end of the day, yes, we all love Mass Effect, but we like other games too. So why not look into other games? And we have a certain type of games we like, and we discussed this right before we start recording. and all of the games we are covering fall into that category. So we're looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll start slowly introducing that in January. We'll have like a little teaser in January as well, and then kind of go from there, see how it plays out, really. So it just means that when stuff on Mass Effect does come out, we don't have to completely bleed it dry of content and news and stuff, because we feel there's no point in doing that, because we want to enjoy it as fans just as much as we do video makers. But sometimes we don't get to do that straight away. So it'd be nice to do other content and focus on other stuff. Of course, Mass Effect will still be our main focus, but or one of the main focuses. But yeah, it'll be interesting going forward to see what's going on and go from there, really. So I think channel-wise, that's about it.
Channel-wise is fine, yeah.
So going well, looking forward to the future.
I guess we should kind of say that obviously Mass Effect will still be the main focus of the channel, because until Mass Effect Andromeda comes out, and probably for a long time after Mass Effect Andromeda comes out, there's going to be Mass Effect stuff coming out. We're not kind of abandoning that to do other stuff. No. We kind of want to introduce other stuff, just so that obviously we get to kind of share a bit more of what we enjoy as gamers in general with you guys. And and I'm pretty sure the ones we select are ones, if you like Mass Effect, you're probably going to enjoy the ones we're going to select.
Yeah.
Because either you've played some of them, or you would probably enjoy playing them just because of Mass Effect in general. They're very similar or have some kind of similarity to them. So we're not completely jumping and decided we're going to start talking about Mario or something like that. It's nothing like that. No, they're very much in the niche that we like, which is we love RPGs and we love good stories, and that's kind of what we're going to want to bring to the channel. The streams will be where we get the fun stuff, like us.
Yeah, the streams won't be changing. Like I said in a previous video, we're going to have like a new look to the YouTube and probably the Twitter as well. The Twitch will stay exactly the same as it is, because we love streaming and it's really enjoyable, but we see it as somewhat separate to the YouTube stuff. So the stream stuff isn't a priority focus, but we like doing it at least once a week. So, because it gives us a chance just to talk and chat with you guys and entertain you guys, and you guys entertain us. And we do that all live, which is something we can't really do at the moment with the YouTube stuff. So, but that'll be staying as it is. Nothing will be changing over there. So it's just the YouTube stuff we're looking into, and the YouTube stuff's going to have a bit more personality to it. I think is probably the best way to put it.
Oh, you'll love it when you see it.
As well, yeah. So, I mean, we literally just got all the new stuff, I believe, over the last day or so.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for a final word from
the person.
Our person. Because I did send them the final stuff last night when we finished.
If the person listens to this, the person's going to be like, "Oh, secretive."
Yes, the person. Yes, that's one.
That one.
But yeah, no, we've got all like the final design stuff now, and I think we're going to launch that in the new year.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
is what we're aiming for.
That's a plan. Yeah, unless something happens.
Yeah. But we're really looking forward to it. It's just going to add like personality is what we've been looking for on the YouTube channel. And we want that to cover kind of all fronts, really. And what has been done by this person is awesome. And we've seen like test shots of it and stuff in action, and it's like really cool, really fun. And we can't wait to bring it to you guys. So looking forward to that in the next couple of weeks or so there as well. But yeah, no, we're definitely not moving away from the Mass Effect stuff. It's just we want to bring in other stuff to go with the Mass Effect stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
Stuffed.
You're like me now. I'm the one with the cold who's like got the nasally voice, and you're now saying stuffed. Alright, should we move on to...
Yes.
That was kind of two topics that we discussed there.
It was, yeah.
That wasn't aim, and they were both going to be at the end, so we might as well talk about the topic we were going to talk about first. And do it last, I guess.
Yeah. Now, the problem is I've forgotten what the topic was that was going to get.
It was basically just we've been talking about Mass Effect stuff, and
okay,
I guess it's a good segue from what we've been talking about, like, as we're going to be doing more games in the new year, what we thought about gaming. I'm going to nearly sneeze, but I'm not going to. Okay. What we thought about gaming in 2016, really. And our thoughts, or our favourites, and our not so favourites, I guess.
It's going to be a short list because not a lot came out at the end of the year.
Yeah, 2016 was a bit of a... I don't know. There were some really... there were some highlights of the year, and then there were just like some mess. Like, I don't see the point kind of games. And there were just some really bad ones. I didn't even know what came out this year. Should I bring up a list?
Well, I'm going to try and look at my... and I'm going to
my phone.
I'm going to sound far away here, so I apologise. But I'm just looking at my games list. Down at my calendar down here.
I know of games at the end of the year that maybe we should talk about games that we didn't play or we just didn't.
Yeah,
really,
could do.
Yeah, didn't see the point of playing. So I guess one of the ones we definitely didn't play was Call of Duty. That was one of the bigger titles this year. We never played Call of Duty, but
I stopped at Modern Warfare 2, which was quite a while ago.
But so. I guess it really got just kind of blown out of the water by Titanfall and Battlefield coming out. So you played Battlefield.
I played Titanfall 2 and Battlefield. And I would probably put Battlefield or Titanfall close to being my game of the year, I'll be honest.
Oh, really?
Okay. Well, yeah, because they're both really fun to play. I've not played the Battlefield multiplayer in the game. I played it in the beta, but I haven't played it in the game yet. Still haven't got around to it. But I have played a fair amount of the Titanfall multiplayer with Carly every time I've spoken to her, which is about once every 2 months. But like the comparison of the campaign from Titanfall 1 to Titanfall 2, the Titanfall 2 campaign is really good. It's short, but not like massively short. It's like you can probably get 6 hours out of it if you like look around and pace yourself kind of thing. But it is a fast-paced campaign, but it's a really good campaign. Like massive improvement on the first one, and it got like well-deserved like acclaim and applause and like all across online and stuff like that. And it was really enjoyable, and the multiplayer is fun too. So I'm hoping they've learned the lessons of the first one, which was the first one was good, but it fell off really quickly. So
I guess one of the other games we did play this year that came out was The Division, which was one of the ones that we...
this one will be divisive.
This is the one we really wanted to play when it first came out, because I'm not sure about you, but you know how much of a Tom Clancy fan I am. I love Tom Clancy games. And when it was first announced and we got to first see it at E3 and stuff like that, we were like, oh my god, we need to play this so badly.
Yeah.
And then the game came out, and I have to say we enjoyed it for the first couple of weeks we played it.
I think it was probably a bit longer than that, because we played it in little like spurts over a few months before we started really dropping off of it. Okay. So I'd say probably the first 2-3 months we were good with it, and it was fine. And then we just broke off.
It's just boring.
It was rinse repeat over and over and over.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. So, and we weren't that far from the main story end. I still don't know how that game ends. I'm thinking of YouTubing it at this point.
Yeah, maybe YouTube.
But
it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna finish it. I think the last time we played it was I was like, nope, this is not happening.
We tried it a week or two ago.
Well, it was mainly because they wanted us to. There was a story level, we were leveled for it, but it was still too hard, so we probably needed to be a couple of levels above it, which would mean we'd have to basically redo like loads of side missions and all this kind of stuff, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've hit a wall. The wall has been hit, it's done. So,
which is a shame, because it looked promising, but it fell off, unfortunately. So.
Yeah. The other game that I liked this year was Hitman came out this year, and I think it was like a return to form for Hitman. I loved it. I loved Absolution, but like the set pieces were just like
I was
huge.
Really worried that they were doing it
episodically. Was I. I was super worried, but they are genuinely really, really good episodes, and they're just massive. The scale of them are really cool.
Yeah.
They're just really pretty. And I really enjoyed killing people.
You always do.
I really do. It's made for me. Like, it's stealth games and then wacky costumes. I loved it. Did you ever finish it?
No, I'm still on the second mission. So I will go back to it, because I agree. What I played, it's really good. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's just
they've done
so
it really
pretty.
Well. And any fear I had that they did it episodically, gone. They seem to have done it perfectly. They've got like a HUD where you can do the challenges, and all from this one central hub, and it's really, really good. And I think that's how they're going to do it from here on in. Because I think from what I've heard now, they keep calling it this is the end of the first season. So I think this is probably how they're going to do it from now on, at least for a while anyway. So
but they're probably the only ones who've ever like nailed episodic gaming. Because as much as Telltale, that's their thing, they never nail it. It's always so sporadic that it's just like... Batman's been the closest. That's another game that came out this year, Batman Telltale. That's probably the closest one I think. It's come out every month, as far as I can tell. I've not had to like wait for a giant like 3-month period for it to come out. Yeah. It has come out every month.
Walking
and so far,
Dead Season 1.
Batman Telltale's been my favourite Telltale series so far, of all of them.
I've still not played it yet. I've got it, I haven't played it.
I guess I'm a Batman fan, so it's really not that hard, but like to like not impress me. But they did Batman really well, in a way that he feels like he fits in that Arkham world, but as well as like the comic world. The voice acting's really good. The Telltale kind of storyline's not terrible. It's just well done. I liked it. So, plus, I think all but the last episode's out. So if you're going to start playing it, this is a good time.
Episode's out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yay!
It's been out for like a week.
Oh, see, I played episode 4 literally last week.
This is something I actually know the ending because I've watched someone doing playthrough of it. I'm not going to tell you, obviously.
No, but I need to play it at some point.
I can't believe you didn't know.
I can't believe I didn't know.
It's been out for at least 5 days, I think, something like that.
I need to always download it anyway. Another game came out was Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Came out this year.
Yep.
I didn't play that.
I played it. Still playing it.
I think that might be the longest game you've played this year.
No. It's it's one of these games I can only play for about an hour at a time, and that's not disingenuous in any way to the developers of it. Just that's the type of style I play for that particular game. So yeah, but it's good. It's really fun. I'm hoping I'm nearing an endpoint, but I don't know. So, but I'm enjoying it. It looks really good. And it's a good kind of like addition to what was kind of a cult classic, the original one, because not everyone played that one, but I did, and I found the first one very cool. So they've done very well to like make that and just expand on it. So yeah.
Well, here's a decisive one, No Man's Sky. That came out this year. That might be the most decisive game of this year. Like it was very like controversial.
The biggest roller coaster you'll ever go on in terms of.
It was like Destiny all over again in a sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't know how to put this one because I know you haven't played it, but I know I have. But I
genuinely don't think I'm going to play it though.
I've literally been playing it again the last 2 days. The problem is that it's clearly an indie title. It should have been labelled an indie title in the press and the run-up, and Sony should have only given the press to it that they do to any other indie games. They shouldn't have hyped it up as this big, massive thing. They shouldn't have had Sean Murray on stage at a big presentation saying, look at this, procedural 18 quintillion planets, blah, 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 because then you make it sound like a AAA game when it bloody well isn't. So the reason why Hello Games and Sony got shit is because they almost to a point falsely advertised it. But then they had an investigation to that, and apparently they didn't. But I would have questions on that. However, I have been playing it in the last couple of days, and I have sunk about 8 to 9 hours into it. I'll be honest, I had no problem with the original premise. I knew it wasn't going to be a story game. I know that basically the quest was get to the centre of the galaxy. I know how the game ends, and I know it's a bit of bullshit. But I like the exploration side of it. It's got its own unique look, and I really like that. I love space games, and I enjoy flying around to the different systems and the planets, and especially with the new update now, you can do the base building, and you can hire people to run your little base, and scientists and builders and stuff like that. It's just added that little bit more. Personally, it's too little too late for, I'd say, 99% of the audience who were really excited for that. But the small group who still enjoy it, I think they will still enjoy it. But I think the other thing they did wrong was go completely silent for about 2 months, which they did nothing on Twitter until they got hacked. And then they're like, no, we've not been hacked. We've been sitting here watching TV or something. And I was like, yeah, that's a good way to come back after 2 months of silence for a game that you basically falsely advertised. And yeah, so I don't know. I get personal enjoyment out of it, but for me, from probably this point on, it'll probably only be a game that, again, I'll play for like an hour or two if I'm bored and I've got like a free day. Because most days I'm either in a Skype call with you, editing, making graphics, or something like that. So I'm always busy. But when I get a spare evening and I'm not editing, or you're busy doing something, then I will normally sit down for an evening and play games. And that's what I did the other night. I sat down for like 6 hours and just played the game. I enjoyed it, but it's like Minecraft. Really, it's going to be that.
That's
thing
the main
where...
reason I don't. That's the main reason I don't want to play it, because as much as relaxing.
No.
as
I
Minecraft
don't.
is-
Yeah, I see why you don't like Minecraft. But if you were ever to play No Man's Sky, I think you probably get more enjoyment out of it than Minecraft. Cause...
Probably if it's space Minecraft, anything space related, I like way more than.
And it's not blocky either, so there's not that blocky texture.
You could probably add space to anything, and I probably would enjoy it way more.
Yeah,
I'm
but
one of these people.
I personally enjoy it, and I'm not going to get rid of it anytime soon because it is one of those games where, like FIFA, yes, I play FIFA. If I get bored and I have nothing to do, I will play a couple of matches on FIFA through my little season that I've got going on, and then I'll go and watch a Blu-ray or watch a film or work on something or something like that. So it's a filler game, is what I call it, where I'm bored. I don't really want to get into like Mass Effect or these big long story games. I just want to play something for an hour or two. So that's where I see it. I'm not going to dive into it like for hours on end. I'm just going to enjoy it and then move on to something else. So good game. Shame it was advertised the way it was. Shouldn't have been advertised the way it was. Too little, too late, I think, in terms of the updates and stuff. So. And
then there was games we obviously didn't play, like Dishonored 2, Watch Dogs 2, things like that came out. But I don't know whether... I have no idea.
I think Dishonored 2 got good acclaim. I think Watch Dogs 2, other than that kind of weird nudie thing that came about, it was received well. So yeah. Well, because in the first Watch Dogs, you couldn't really go too far wrong. So
and I guess the last game we should probably talk about was probably my game of the year, which was Final Fantasy 15 that did come out pretty much at the end.
Which is surprising. For you.
I've never really played Final Fantasy. Yeah. I kind of know the base storylines of most of the games. I really like it. I think as I've said, I love RPGs, and it's just like a proper RPG. The world is amazing.
Yeah,
just so beautiful, and it does that thing in me where I have to do all the side missions, and I know it's a good RPG when I really want to do all the side missions, because if I think they're it's like Destiny and Division and stuff, they all really want to be MMOs or RPGs or something like that. They're not RPGs, but they want to have that MMO kind of feeling where like give you kind of satisfaction for doing stuff, but it feels more of a grind. This feels like even though you're kind of having to still do stuff, you feel like, oh, that felt nice to do that. I enjoyed that. You don't really get that much stuff for it. Like, I don't really gain things for doing the side missions, but it helps you level up, makes the fights a bit easier. The combat system's really, really good. And generally, I don't know, it's got really good characters. I think the characters are just fun to hang about with. It's a simple premise in general. Like, I know there's a big storyline about, like, the war and, like, you know, the damsel in distress and all kind of that stuff, but it's basically about 4 bros on a road trip.
That's the way I put it to you.
And I was like...
It's just 4 bros on a road trip. You're like, cool, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, generally that's the best concept ever. I don't know why no one's ever thought of doing something like that before.
Yeah.
And it's just so much fun. And then I know some people are upset with the fact they didn't include a lot of the story stuff and they left it for the movie and the anime and stuff, but I don't know. I really like the movie and don't have to...
Well, I'm at a point where the city has just been, like, taken. So, or I'm a little bit after that, so I'm not too far past that point, I think.
Spoilers.
Well, that's clear at this point anyway, because if anyone's watched the movie or seen the anime, they know that's where it's heading.
Yeah, but what if nobody's watched any of it and they're playing the game?
They shouldn't listen then. But I'm at a point where I can now go and watch the movie because it lines up with the events in the game, and then go from there. So
it's very well done, and I'm surprised. Before it came out, I was like, I'm no interest to play it, and then you got to try it out, and you said, oh, it's fairly good. I think you'll enjoy it, and I was like, okay, I'll go buy it. I bought the actual full whammy edition, the digital version. I don't remember what the actual official term is, but I'm going to call it the full whammy edition from now onwards.
Actually, I don't think you got the full one. You got the one below it, because I think the full one was about £100, and you did not pay £100. So you paid like $59, I think. So I think there was normal, there was digital, and there was deluxe, I think. So
I spent the mini whammy edition, which is the middle one. I think it was $69.99.
Oh, okay.
Because I got the season pass and then like all the like additional bits and content and stuff. Yeah, and I'm glad I got it because I'm looking forward to seeing the story missions for the characters, the other characters, not just Noctis, and it's just really good. I like my two favorite games of this year, like Hitman and Final Fantasy. The premise of it is fairly simple.
Yeah.
Murder dudes and road trip.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest, and I'm the same as you. And this isn't to slate any Final Fantasy fans. This is just my gaming likes and dislikes. I've never disliked Final Fantasy. I just never interested in playing it. But I got the opportunity to play it, and I'm going to be streaming it again in the future at some point. But I do really enjoy it, and I know they completely changed it to a point where it's going to be good to play for old Final Fantasy players and new players alike, which is good because we both came into it well into the series. So yeah, they did very well to make it pretty easy just to jump in, do the tutorial, which was fairly important for me, and then kind of kick on from there. The game looks amazing.
Plus, it's so anime. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much exactly what I said to you. I was like, it's four bros on a road trip. It's basically an anime in a computer game. You're like, okay, cool. It didn't take much selling for you.
No.
But no, I really enjoyed it. And I think if I were to go for a game of the year, I wouldn't be able to do one because I think towards the end of the year there were some very good ones. And yes, I'm only barely into Final Fantasy, but I am really enjoying it. So I normally go for things like look at the game, how it plays, and just general enjoyment. Those are my kind of three factors. And I can probably plump for 4 games there, and they're probably fairly obvious, which is Titanfall 2, Battlefield, Hitman, and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I'd agree. I haven't played Titanfall or Battlefield, but I imagine that I enjoyed playing Titanfall last time.
The campaign in Battlefield 1 was sublime. It was fantastic.
I'm gonna give both of them a go once I manage to get through my ginormous Final Fantasy playthrough because it's taking forever.
It'll be about 2
It'll
be about 2 years.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I remember we were saying that we've not really had a game for a long time that's had like a proper we've been able to spend ages playing, and it's not since Mass Effect, or actually not since Dragon Age. But we needed that to take us over to Mass Effect and Andromeda. And to be honest, yes, we could do playthroughs of Dragon Age and Mass Effect and all the other games we play, but it would be nice to play something new. And Final Fantasy came along to surprise us both and be like, hey, play me for the next couple of months until your new game comes out. And that's quite nice. Yeah. And I know there have been RPGs that have come out that people love, that we're not, again, dissing or anything like that. We've just not played them. Yeah. We just didn't really feel like playing them, and you know who you are. But yeah, for some reason this one was a nice surprise, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes, playing it. But I really enjoy it. I just think the world is just so
Well, I know that this
beautiful.
game...
And I get to ride a chocobo. I love my chocobo. I named it Ryder.
I still haven't got
He's adorable.
I passed on a side mission to do that, to go to the town, and currently ends I need to go back and do it.
Yeah, no, you get to name him, and he definitely got called Ryder. He's a little white chocobo. He's so cute. I feed him greens when we
that's enough.
Right, we can end this podcast then.
So it's a short one, but this is pretty much our last video for this year. It's been a long, tiring, but
awesome year.
Enjoyable year.
For the channel. There have been stuff that happened this year that we don't want to comment on that's been a bit sucky. But for the channel, it's been awesome. And you guys have been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, without the growing support and when this year began, I didn't think we'd be, in terms of subs and views, where we are. I didn't think we'd have a Discord group that has well over 100 members now, apparently. On Twitter, we went from 600-700 followers to 1,400 in the space of a day, basically, thanks to N7 though. And suddenly we have our own little community, and we've never had that before, so we're not 100% sure on how to react to certain things, but nonetheless, it's been amazing to experience all of this for the very first time.
Oh, I've got a little side note. I forgot. The little side note. Well, it's mainly about the channel stuff. About opinions and things. It's not to be mean or anything like that. It's just me.
Watch
a lot
out,
of people
controversy income. I'm joking.
No, a lot of people asked us about the Game Awards gameplay and things like that, and you released an honest opinions video about what we kind of thought about everything.
Yes.
That's released. And those were generally our honest opinions. I'm gonna just kind of clarify, they are our honest opinions. We really liked the gameplay. There were things, obviously, that most people didn't like that we agreed with. The animation of the faces, the syncing was a little bit shite. But BioWare say they're improving that. We're going to take their word on it. But we really reserve the right to hold our judgment until we see the full game. And we plan to do a proper review when the game comes out. Because as much as we want to say, like, oh, this doesn't look good, that doesn't look good, we've not really been super disappointed by anything we've seen compared to other things we've seen by other games and what we saw from Mass Effect in general when it first started coming out. So we generally are quite happy, and we are Mass Effect fans. We tend to just go with the flow and enjoy things. But if there is anything that we don't like in the game when it like properly comes out, we will be honest and we will tell you. Because I know a lot of people were kind of saying, or a few people were saying, that they didn't think we were being honest. We were. But we just don't think it's fair to judge anything until we see the final copy.
Yeah, no, and that's...
Because it's their hard work, and if obviously they are showing us... How many months is it now that we've got?
I could estimate roughly about... If they're aiming for the end of March, we're talking just under 4.
And this were all the stuff that they were recording for the Game Awards and stuff. We know they were probably pre-recording it maybe about a month or so before. It's just... They're obviously building as it goes, and they're learning, and they are... I'm sure they're going to improve it. If it's still there in the final game, by God, we'll tell you guys that we're not really happy about that. But yeah, it's just wanted to tell you that was our honest opinion.
Yeah.
But we understand some people weren't happy about certain things, graphics and art style and all that kind of stuff, and that's fair enough. That's your opinion. But yeah, we'll let you know what we think when the game actually comes out. Or when we get to play the demo. That's a good time to tell you.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's it. That's all I wanted to
say. I think just going on that as well, I think we really don't want to like say whether a game's good or bad based on under half an hour's worth of content, which is basically 4 or 5 trailers and a couple of gameplay videos. So if you're basing your opinion on like a few trailers and a couple of gameplay videos compared to what could potentially be a 40 to 50 hour plus game, then yeah, I mean everyone's entitled to their opinion, but reserve it for when the game comes out and experience the full game rather than base it on little tiny snippets that we get shown throughout the year. And that's why we do this honest opinion stuff, because sometimes we do forget to say in the initial main video that we do whether we like it or not, so that's why we do the follow-ups for the honest opinions and stuff. I did that honest opinions video, and that was my God to truth honest opinion. And didn't someone even mention that they said that they knew we were affiliated with EA?
Yeah, we're not affiliated with EA,
really
by the way.
So
or
where you're getting your information from, that ain't right. So
we basically kind of do this on our own backs. We don't really get help. We have, like, obviously we have communicate with people on Twitter, like most people do on Twitter.
Yeah.
But we don't really. We're not
as
working
fans.
For EA. We're not working for EA or BioWare. They don't pay us.
I wish.
Yeah. No. We are generally just fans doing this for what we like. Yeah. And yeah, as fans, we tend to have rose-tinted glasses. We tend to like the game, and we've never really... Mass Effect is our favourite series, so of course we're going to say that we like it. But yeah, there are things that we don't like about the games. We've talked about that in other videos, but yeah, we'll judge it when it comes out, and I'm sure it'll be honest then as well.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what I'm trying to say, but that's it. So I wanted to add that because I know there were some people who thought we were not being completely honest, and I just...
Well, we were.
We always are.
So,
yeah.
There you go. But yeah, I can't remember where I was in my original...
We were finishing.
I was, but I had a nice, lovely speech in my head.
I'm sorry, I interrupted
you. No, I can't remember what it was
thing.
now. But I think it was just generally just to say thank you. Yes, basically. Just to say thank you to you guys.
Love you.
For being there for us, supporting us, offering help and advice, because we're always learning. We're always in a new position when certain things happen, like the channel grows or a certain video gets a lot more attention and that kind of thing. So we've never experienced that before. So we're learning and having our nerves shredded as we go along. So we're always learning, and we couldn't be more thankful to you guys for supporting us and sticking with us, and just being a very awesome little community. Not just over this last 12 months, but over the 18 months that the channel's been around. And hopefully with the addition of the new games that we're going to be covering in the future. Well, Rima dies slowly.
They can't hear that because you're going to cut that out.
I know. But yes, with the addition of the new games that we'll be covering, hopefully beginning in the new year, then we hope to only bring in more awesome people into that community and just build something hopefully very special. So, but future waits, I guess. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that's it for 2016 for us.
Yeah, so have a good Christmas, a good holiday season for whatever you celebrate.
Yes.
Have a good New Year, and we will see you 2017.
Yep.
For the Lovelies and Mass Effect Andromeda hopefully coming out that year.
Yes.
Finally.
Hopefully.
Sorry,
that wasn't named anyone. BioWare.
They're not listening to this. It's fine.
It's true. But normally I do the whole subscribe to us thing, but I'm not going to do that this time because it's just going to be us rounding out the year. Just by saying thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Enjoy the Christmas, the New Year, the holidays, whatever you celebrate, like Rima said. And we'll see you again in 2017.